So I am Latvian. I am from Riga originally. My name is Anna-Louise Bersmi, and I study so.
Dans un village qui s'appelle Barkava. On est en pleine forêt, en pleine campagne. C'est voilà, au milieu de nulle part, des champs et des bois.
I'm from Germany, from Bonn to be exact. From Bonn. It's close to Cologne, so in the west of Germany. I'm currently doing an EVS in Ogre. I'm working in Ikstila, working at a school, Viduscola, so I'm teaching, not really teaching, but working with children.
I'm Latvian, and I grew up in a small village near border with Lithuania. It's called jauniešu.
So, my name is Marlene, and I grew up in Germany, and I'm here in Latvia since May of 2017, working at Zengal NGO Center, which provides support for local NGOs, but also supports youth centers in Tukuma Novada, where I used to work.
Okay, my name is Cynthia. I'm from Latvia and I live in the city Ikstila.
Town called Vilkala,
Okay.
which is like kind of close to Erasmus. And now I'm living here in Erasmus like 12 years, 12, 13.
Okay, my name is Rainis. I'm here from Latvia. I was born here. Life-wise, I guess going a bit more back, I was not really spending a lot of time as a child in the city. Well, I was, I guess. I was living the first part of my life with both my grandparents, as this was back in the 90s, pretty much a standard regular thing here. Like, both parents would work so to make enough money so the children would be watched by grandparents. So I was kind of slightly, I guess, more isolated from other kids. Yeah, well, currently I work as a waiter, and I'm thinking of, well, maybe hoping, maybe thinking, at least trying to do something more with the entertainment business, perhaps, something like that.
I'm from Greece. I'm from a small town near Athens. It's called Loutraki, and it's by the sea. I'm an EVS volunteer here. I'm living in Tukums, but I'm working in a school in Smarde. And it's a primary school and also a
So I work in Ventspils, the youth house.
Yeah, we're in the eastern part of Latvia, about 120 kilometers from the border with Russia.
Latvia.
Piedzimu Latvijā. Īsta latvieta piedzimu Latvijā.
Traditions are important because that makes the country unique.
Yeah. Latvian traditions, I mean, yeah, the traditions are important. I mean, one should really understand the historical origins of their traditions. For instance, ours are one of the oldest surviving in the world, but they're still going to go away soon. But yeah, I mean, it's important to know where you come from.
They are telling me, also in school, the teachers tell me, for example, what they do for Easter. So they don't, like in Germany, it's really normal to color your eggs artificially with colors you buy at the store and then you just color them. But in Latvia you use onion peel and also beet or something like that. So it's not always, it's like closer to nature and closer to the country and to the nature. It's not so much about not marketing, but what you buy. It's more like sticking to old traditions. And also for so I'm doing Latvian folk dance, and they are so proud of, and they have, everybody knows dances or knows how to dance. It's so such a big thing in Latvia to do those dances and those costumes, like made of really natural material. It's really nice.
I would say they are. I think we are celebrating and we are cherishing those traditions more and more now than we did before.
It's a part of making them Latvians.
C'est vraiment une tradition où... Mais par exemple, leur façon de dire bonjour, enfin nous en France on se fait la bise, un peu partout dans le monde on se serre la main. ou une accolade. Mais ici, bonjour, c'est signe de tête, ça c'est
assez distant. Ouais.
Après, si on est vraiment amis, très proches, il va y avoir une légère tape dans le dos, mais voilà, je pense que c'est ce qui m'a...
Une particularité, ouais.
Ce qui m'a frappée, je vois.
Yes, I think the most important tradition that I've learned it's about the name days and also the birthdays, that it's really important for them, and it's like something really sacred. They always buy flowers to offer to the person, and they are really formal, and they do it in a really specific way, and it's like a ritual, I think, and it was really nice.
Also, one thing I see next to the being proud of their country is really the traditions, and it makes it so special. And because they have this strong relationship to these traditions, I can understand more why they are proud of their country. Because it's, I think Latvia is, next to Lithuania, is the most pagan country in the world.
Yeah. I love the midsummer tradition. That is really close to my heart. I think everyone's, but not maybe in the way of getting drunk, because I've seen that and I don't really like alcohol. And most people just, oh yeah, it's a holiday, we don't have to go work, let's get drunk. But now I appreciate the jumping over the fireplace, getting in the nature, singing songs, and even making up songs and making, how do you call these things? I don't know.
The flower crown.
Yeah, flower crowns, and collecting different herbs and for teas, and for me that's my main tradition, I would say. What else? Yeah, I think that's...
I know some. Well, we have midsummer tradition where you have to jump over the fire. Then in the wedding you always have to throw a plate, and then you will see how many babies you will have. We have traditions called metteni, when it's about celebrating when the winter comes, and then you are dressing up as different animals to get rid of the old spirits or bad spirits.
I'm a weird person in that sense. I really have strong views on what I believe in. And a lot of Latvian traditions are based on either religious practices or then pagan practices and ancient traditions of gods of nature. And since I don't believe them, I also, in a sense, neglect the festivals surrounding those ideas and traditions surrounding those ideas. And I don't say that I'm against those traditions. If people see them valuable, of course they do that, but me myself, I don't really practice yagi or even Christmas in that sense.
I never went, but I really like the idea that they go in during the autumn, and all of them collect mushrooms. And it's a specific time when they do that. And I really love mushrooms, and I found it really interesting that all of them do it here. And what I also found really interesting is that in springtime they collect the juice out of the trees. And one teacher did that, and she brought us in the kindergarten the juice of the trees, and we tried it with the kids, and it was really nice.
The thing any Latvian would say is probably līgo jāņa. Well, we got a couple of torches and we went through a midnight stroll through a kind of like an outdoor park, wanting to go to a lake to swim at the middle of the night. But when we got there, we realized we were too drunk and it's probably a bad idea, so we didn't do that.
Latvian singing and dancing tradition, especially choir singing, and yeah, the music making here is very, very strong. It's probably one of the best things that we got from the Soviet Union was this system of music schools, which are still going strong educating a lot of young, good musicians. My sister, for example, and yeah, this is kind of a good part of the culture. I myself have not participated in this, but
Jāņos, ugunskura kurina, desiņas cep, vainadziņu pin un skrien pa pļāvu, lec pāri ugunskuram, daudz dzied. Daudz latviešu tautas dziesmas.
There is some tradition about mosquitoes that they will not bite you, but I don't remember exactly how it works. Yes, on the swing. Yeah. On the swing, yes, I was on the swing. And the higher you swing, the less mosquitoes will bite you. Right, yes.
Tradition in the summertime where we have this celebration called Jāņi or Vigo, where everyone drinks beer and eats cheese and just sing Latvian songs. That's one of my favorite holidays I do.
The sentence I like my country, you can split it up in different little categories. One is you can like nature of a country, or which is basically something just outlined on the map. But then there's people and culture, what makes the country what it is. And of course, it's always easier to understand your own people. You speak the same language, you can pick up on things just like that. And it's I travel a lot for my work, so I really appreciate coming back and the easiness of just getting together with people and clicking is something I really like, and the nature here is really nice as well, and I appreciate that Latvia is not so overpopulated and we don't have these big cities, so we have a lot of nature to go around and go and see.
I think it's totally fine when I see flag. When I see flag, it also reminds me again that I'm in Latvia and I am Latvian and I'm feeling proud of it when I see
For
the
me,
flag.
it's just like I don't like countries itself, because countries are borders, and I want the world.
Latvija ir skaista zeme. Good, shine. Skaista English. Beautiful.
I think it's really important for them because of their history, and we shouldn't forget that it's quite a new nation. Like next year they celebrate just 100 years, and they have suffered a lot during the past. They were never independent, and I think that it's really important for them that they are a nation now, a Latvian nation, not under another nation. So that's why I think
it's not common, not at all, because in Germany there are not a lot of flags, and you're not so proud of your flags and your nation, not like Latvians. But I know that it's normal, more or less, for many other countries. So it's like not only in Latvia, it's also in Canada and United States and UK.
And actually traveling makes me appreciate my country more, I think.
Latvia is a very small country. Most people don't even know where's Latvia, like Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, which one is which one. And it's still a very young country. They gained independence not long ago. And it's a dying country because 2 million people and it's getting less and less. So it's normal for them to be so attached to the country because they feel that
I've had this feeling several times after being away for long periods of time, and when you come back you feel this sense of like, but it's hard to describe in words.
Yeah, I get you. Sometimes I have.
It's like you come back and just like, you're walking through the center and you like see the sunset.
Ça m'a pas paru bizarre parce que je voyage depuis plusieurs années maintenant, toute l'année, et du coup c'est assez courant en fait, et je pense c'est assez courant que des personnes aient le drapeau de leur pays dans leur jardin, sur leur voiture, et je pense que c'est nous Français en fait qui avons un problème avec ça, et le fait de mettre un drapeau français dans ton jardin, on va tout de suite penser racisme, nationaliste, revendique mes racines, ma souche française. Et je pense qu'on devrait plutôt voir ça dans l'autre sens en fait. À mon avis, on est très peu de pays à voir ça comme du racisme et qu'ils sont beaucoup plus à voir ça comme une fierté d'être qui ils sont en fait. Et ils se sont battus pour leur indépendance, donc ils ont raison d'être fiers.
Yes, I'm proud to be Latvian.
Well, I can say that it's different from Portugal. I do feel that we are not so nationalists because we are. There's people that, of course, we like our country, but it's not like in Latvia. Portuguese like a lot to complain, I think, but we are nationalists, mainly about football. We really like our football team, national team. But yeah, I do feel that Latvians are really nationalist, and I think that it's really I admire it because they were so repressed during so many years, and now they are free. And I think it's really impressive how such a small country it's like so proud of themselves, and it's not. I don't think it's in too much. Like it's not too much. I think they deserve it, and I appreciate it, and I think it's different from my country, but I think
really
it's nice.
As a culture more loving, they're kind of. I guess what people would mostly globally understand is like grayish maybe. I mean, I can appreciate it. I understand the struggles or the heritage of my people, and I kind of get by that. And yeah, well, if how to phrase this more correctly, say I am patriotic about my country, but this in its current state, I wouldn't say I really love it.
I haven't spoke about it really, but I have noticed that they are proud that they are Latvian. For example, I have noticed that the Latvian people they might wear clothes where they put their flag and the Latvian symbols, where if you could see that in my country, in Greece, it's a bit weird. That it's you could think that the person is a nationalist, if I may say. It's not true every time, but it's a bit weird.
I would say yeah. I like my country. There's here's everything that I kind of need, but if I'm honest, I don't know if I'm gonna live whole my life in Latvia, because I love to travel and I love to see other countries, and so I can imagine myself living in another country for a while and then another again and another again, and maybe then come back to Latvia. But it's like my personal choice that I like. In general, I can say that I'm fulfilled in Latvia.
Agrāk man tas bija ļoti svarīgi. Tagad pēc daudziem gadiem, kad es atradusi savā sirdī to, ka tu dzīvo miestī, ka tu dzīvo Jēzus, tad man tā kopība ir drusku plašāk tajā cilvēki atrod Dievā mājas. Un tā ir tā īstā vieta. Bet caur to arī Dievs noliek kādu vietu, kādu zemi varētu dzīvot.
I think Latvians are really proud of their country. It's probably because the history of the country is very short, like the time when it actually was a state, because it became a state the first time 100 years ago, and in the big time of those 100 years and of those century, it wasn't even a state, it was just a nation. But so yes, I think it was they are proud, and they are celebrating both traditions so much. For example, I experienced the national holiday in November, and also the Diena, which is another national holiday, also in November. They are celebrating Easter very differently than the normal Western standards, from America, also Germany. So.
Yeah, it's the first time I came to Latvia, I was a bit shocked about all the Latvian flags. because I'm from Germany and flags are not mine, and I'm also more on the left side of political spectrum. So for me it was really, really strange in the beginning. I can understand them, but I'm not sure how I really feel about it. I see there are so many great things in Latvia, like the culture, the people, but being proud of this country is really, really difficult.
Depends. I think people around me, not really. Maybe because they want to study abroad and everything, but I think it depends on which companies you're in, because some people who, for example, really like hockey, they're like really passionate, they're passionate Latvians, or people who are more from the countryside, I feel like they have more traditional like activities and dances, but people in the city, it can be very different.
Vai tu mīli savu valsti?
Jā.
Vai tā ir vieta, kur tu esi dzīves, vai tas ir kaut kas vairāk?
Jā, tur tā ir vieta, kur esmu dzimis, bet tas ir arī kaut kas vairāk. Dieva dāvana.
Our side near the Estonian border also. Yeah, and I like to travel around Latvia. It's nice. Well, I haven't been in Daugavpils, but yeah, you can see differences between places, because also in the geographical, like how to say, ground levels and stuff, because the Kurland, this part, Ventspils side is more like flat, the other side is like more like with mountains.
Yes, I've been at Rundale, Cesis, Valmiera, Kuldiga.
The teenagers do, and young people do. Older people are like not so often travel around the world. They're always like working and everything like that, and having their lives just here in Latvia. But the young people is more open-minded and for the travel.
I have done small trips, yes, but not a lot. I used to travel more when I was in school, so we made like school trips somewhere, but by myself I have not done so.
I want to take as much as possible from Latvia, because I don't know how many times I will come back to Latvia. I think I will come back somehow, but it will be different. And now I have the time, and also it's so like it takes you a very long time to go to some place. So for example, today we went to Kuldiga, which is like 4 hours one way to go there, and on the same day we went back and actually spent only 3 hours in Kuldiga. But it was nice, and I don't know, I even enjoyed to take the bus and the train and just go around Latvia.
I should probably do that more, because I always go where my relatives are or my close friends are. So all my relatives are more near Tukums or somewhere in that area, and I never actually really explored the Latgale at all. I've been there because of like I had a project there, or my friend was there and I visited and was like, wow, I've never been in this part. Why? Like, no, I mean like you visit cities, but I didn't see the countryside or like the smaller towns. And I think I probably should do more.
In general, rap music in Latvia is quite underground. I used to listen to that, but not at the moment. And I really like modern choir music, if I can say so. And I personally believe that we have too much music already, and we should ban making new music and just do covers for music. So I really like to listen to cover music, and especially when choirs do covers for popular music. That's something
I know some songs. I don't listen to them, but the first song that stuck with me was Meitene Zeltene, because it was a rock cafe and there were some people who were singing it at karaoke, and there was this very funny video, and it just I don't know, the chorus just stuck in my ear. And then I know Prata Vetri, of course, the most famous band.
I had the chance to go with some other friends in Ala bar in Riga. It's a bar where they play traditional Latvian music, and we went there to listen, and we also had the chance to dance Latvian songs, and I really enjoyed it. It was really nice.
I tend to listen, some Latvian songs sometimes, not traditional ones though, only in the Līgo celebration in those times, the traditional Latvian music, but we have like Latvian rappers that I don't listen actually because it's kind of funny, but we have some great artists and pianist Raimons Pauls and everything like that, and I like to listen.
Oh yeah, I listen daily to some Latvian bands and singers.
Traditional music is very interesting, and some friends took me to a concert of Carnival Youth, and it was so good. I was really surprised, and I like it.
Sometimes I like some artists who are instrumental. They make instrumental music. Have you heard about Richard Flībietis? He's really great guitar player. It's amazing. I have my friends from from primary school are they have separated in a few bands. You probably know Carnival Youth.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is there. There was another band, but they separated. So I've listened to it, but not really purposely. But the more I go to these small concerts and underground events, the more I realize, Latvian music is cool. It might not necessarily be in Latvian, that's more rare. But whenever a band which usually doesn't sing in Latvian, they suddenly come out with a Latvian song, it's like, oh wow. I remember this was one band from my primary school's classmate they were just singing about how proud they are about Latvia, and people are crying in the crowd.
I really like
it was so beautiful.
Brainstorm, the Sound Poets. I like Linda Lean, Aija, Andreeva, Dons, Astronaut, Goran Gora. Is there some more?
It's good.
Yeah, Dagamba Bubusulis.
I also went to this choir in the church, and I saw this Latvian choir. They are going to participate also in this contest of singing.
Stay something really important.
I also think we have really strong, we are a strong singing nation, and some of the traditional songs they have changed during the time, so the choirs can sing it. So as long as we're going to sing them, probably those traditional songs also will stay.
Well, there's this one band from the eastern part of Latvia. It's called Latgale, and they speak in their own special dialect. The band is called Bez PVN, and they have some very good music. And actually, a month ago, a video came out of their new song.
Well, we'll see, but at least most of our, old ancient folk songy stuff, that hails from the ancient Sumerians. It's 6,000 years old. Some songs can literally be translated back to that. They basically haven't changed in 6,000 years, so maybe they will still survive the test of time. We'll see.
In general, I think all kind of traditional music will disappear in a few hundred years, and we will all speak in one language and have one big country if we are still alive as a nation. Not as a nation, but as society there. But if you're talking in shorter periods of time, of course states do a lot of different things to preserve the culture, and I think, of course, we will have this traditional music still alive in that sense that there's people that know how to play. But I think the biggest challenge there is to not to make it popular, but to make the music modern, in a sense of that it can be related to the nowadays society, and that's why also different projects which combines traditional music instruments to modern music to electronic music, because that's how people really can use the knowledge of that history. And then it's not only history, and it becomes today, and we can actually use it, because if we only keep culture or whatever history we have intact and in its raw form of 100 years ago people did this or that, and don't have it relevant today, it will die out, or it will become so weird to us that we will no longer relate.
There are some bands like Auli or Tautometas, which are very popular now, and they sing traditional songs, not more modern, but more accessible for other people, and a lot of people like them, and they even went to X Factor, and they were so popular.
Yes, we are quite musical people.
I think they listen to it in their free time. I guess it's like because a lot of people are doing Latvian folk dance, playing in the orchestra, singing in the choir. That's a thing. Like, and they get to know, they meet Latvian traditional music at this time, but I don't think they actively listen to it in their free time.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know.
Usually listen to music just to change my mood, to be more happy and so on. So at that time I felt homesick, so I listened to a lot of Latvian music. I think the trend is towards listening to more global and English language music. But this song and dance festival and the choir tradition ensures that young people also are interested in participating in these events. So that's why the music tradition
survives.
C'est
très lyrique et poétique, on va traduire un petit peu les paroles. Ça me fait penser au chant irlandais, tu sais, très lyrique, très solennel. Oui, j'ai vu les vidéos des chants traditionnels, donc les femmes sont tressées et avec les fleurs dans les cheveux, les vêtements blancs avec des fleurs dessus, des grandes jupes longues. Après, bien sûr, tout pays a ses chansons modernes, mais puisqu'on parle de musique traditionnelle, oui, c'était très...
For everyone, it's like a big part. Even if you don't speak the same language, you can communicate using music. So I think it's really nice.
It's an interesting question. I actually think that Latvian doesn't have really like Latvian food. We have mix from other countries. Like we have a lot of influence from Russian culture and Latvia, like Russian cuisine and German cuisine. But I love red beet soup. That's my favorite.
Okay.
Du fromage laiton, qui est d'ailleurs très bon. C'est du fromage dur, mais quand même assez fort. Nous, Français, on aime bien.
Du coup, toi, ça va, le fromage,
moi, ça m'a plu. Oui, bah oui. Qu'est-ce qu'on a? Les desserts, oui, on a fait les desserts maison avec du pain dur et de la confiture, une espèce de fromage blanc condensé aussi, c'est très bon. Qu'est-ce qu'on a mangé? Je sais plus. Ah oui, de la pomme de terre râpée avec du gratin de champignons, c'est super bon. Je sais plus les noms. En particulier ici où on voit qu'il y a énormément de champs et que énormément de maisons isolées, de fermes isolées. Donc ça ne m'étonne pas que dans tous les plats on retrouve de la pomme de terre, des carottes, soupe de pommes de terre, purée de pommes de terre, des oignons.
I think in general it's used to say that Latvians don't really have traditional foods like that only Latvians eat, and I think Latvian, due to history, we're really influenced by the Russian culture, by the German culture. So there's nothing really specific that sticks out that's only Latvian, but I really like Latvian cuisine and just everyday foods that Latvians eat, and when I go abroad I miss a lot of small things that maybe brown bread, like real brown bread that we eat here, and that's not usually. The more south you go, the less you have.
I can't say I like everything, but they have really tasty potatoes. It's really typical. I love griki. I haven't tried it before and I really like it. I think I will really miss it when I go back. And I like a lot of different styles of soups that they make. Also bee soup, this red vegetable. And yes, that.
Jaunībā un bērnībā, ka mani veda māsa uz Rīgu, viņa vienmēr mani veda zirņus uzēst. Pelēkos.
Nu tie, dārzā tā kā?
Pelēkie zirņā. Jā. Tad man ilgi likās, ka tas ir svarīgākais latviešu ēdiens. Un speķu pīrādziņu. Bet ja man vienmēr stāsta, ka tās ir mājas ar speķu pīrādziņu smaržo mājās.
My favorite Latvian tradition. I like potato pancakes. They are not so different from Germany, because in Germany you also cook a lot with potatoes.
Okay.
And potato pancakes, and I knew before, but they are good and it's nice to see them. And it's also another combination because they use crayums, so sour cream, to serve it with the potato pancakes, but we don't do that, so it's interesting.
It's this small cheesy bites. There is cottage cheese, and it's like sweet. I love it. And I also like these traditional cheeses they have like around. It's red or green. You know, I really like cheese, so all of it. Like many people say, especially French people, that they don't have real cheese here. But I think I like that cheese they have. And I also more food that I...
Sashliks.
What is it? Can you explain?
Like meat.
And you? What is your favorite Latvian meal?
Maybe I love the cold soup. That it's with like kind of cold milk with beetroots and cucumbers and everything like that. And we usually eat it on the hot days in the summer.
It's a dough, and inside of it it's like small pieces. It's like half of the circle, and in that piece you have different kind of meat inside. Yeah, that's a good one. And pirag as well.
I like chicken and shashlik.
Okay, great.
And a very good chocolate cake that they make at Lido that I recommend to everybody. It's with chocolate and raspberries.
I like potato pancakes. Yes, potato pancakes is the best. And also I love oatmeal. It's really simple, but I feel like you can do so much with oatmeal, and it is traditional. I grew up with oatmeal. I remember as a kid, I had it every day for breakfast, and I was so tired of it. But then later, I'm like, no, of course, oatmeal. Why not?
I like this really dark bread, cannery. This huge, like this really dark one, which is the best bread in Latvia.
I like they have also different accents, and I've heard that here in Ventspils they have a really quite strong accent, and of course we cannot identify the accents, we cannot understand if they are talking in different Latvian or not, but at the beginning it almost sounded a little bit like Italian for me, but it was not, because it looked like they were like singing a little bit, but they have similar words for Portuguese. Similar that I can recognize.
It was not always my idea to learn Latvian in my life. Well, I always wanted to learn Latvian in my life, no. But since I came to Latvia, for me it was clear I have to learn Latvian to understand the culture, and if not, it's like not really living in Latvia for me, at least for me. So I tried to do my best, and yes.
Wow, I have to think about it. Favorite Latvian word?
I don't know why, but I like it. And in the beginning it was such a challenge to learn it because it's so long. And it's like Auf Wiedersehen in German, that's also really long. And the same Uzstation as in German. And I'm so happy to master it. And like all the people who visit me from Germany and hear me saying it, it's like, what the fuck are you saying? And it's like, I don't know, I like it. And it has some funny thing in parts.
Forši.
Yeah, but
That means cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nuja.
Nuja?
Nuja.
What this means?
Varbūt. Es mīlu tevi.
The first thing came to my mind, brīnums.
Projekta.
No, I don't think it's. I think it's. There were discussions if it's even okay to have this referendum because, and I think it's really like how could this even go to that level? Because in the Satversme, which is the constitution, it said like because all politicians have to agree to the constitution, right? And it said that you support Latvian language as the only language of the country in the constitution. And I'm like, how did this even come to what? It's against the constitution, like it's supposed to be above everything else. So I think I'm against it, but not because like I think that learning language is cool. I really wish my Russian was much better. I really wish my Russian was much better. And I did try to improve it, but I don't really use it day to day so much. So, but it doesn't mean it has to be an official language.
No, I'm not against Russian language for sure. I think because Russian speakers are the biggest minority. I think Latvian people should also speak Russian and speak and learn Russian. The same goes for Russian speakers. They should speak Latvian because they live here. So I think a lot of people already speak Russian and a lot of Russian speakers speak Latvian. So I think there is, on a personal level, there's good understanding between the people. Maybe on the political level, there's more tension.
This is Latvia, it's not Russia. So if you want to speak Russian, you can speak Russian, but they shouldn't like doing petitions to put Russian as second language. They should do petitions for people that don't speak Latvian to learn Latvian. Like they are living in Latvia. Latvia is a country, it's not Russia anymore. I of course agree that they can live together and they need to understand each other. They need to understand each other's cultures, but it's not that Latvians need to learn Russian, it's that Russians need to learn Latvian because they're living in Latvia, not in Russia.
For sure. In very short time, that's the question for me is very easy. Latvia is based on the country of Latvia and people of Latvia and the language here is Latvian because of that fact. So
Actually, I think so, yes. Even nowadays, I feel like, even on the streets, I feel like I don't hear Latvian language at all. I hear Russian. I participated in the referendum as well, and I voted no, because we already are struggling because of huge Russian language influence, and I want our language to stay. It is really special language. Like we are part of that Baltic branch, only Latvian and Lithuanian languages are part of it, and I think we definitely need to keep our language.
As a main language, because Latvians are nice people. We can talk to anybody, we can freely speak Russian also, it's not bad, but don't force us to...
Okay, in Riga is 40%. So, if in Riga is 40% and in the entire country is a quarter of the entire population, realistically, yes, it should be the second language. And if you want to be patriotic and say, no, you're in Latvia and you should speak Latvian and live Svieti Latviju, then you can say, no, it shouldn't. Should speak only Latvian here. But
So
that's not
definitely
realistic.
would go downstream, I think. If I would be able to vote at that time, I was underage, so I couldn't, but I would vote no, because even though I have nothing against Russians and Russian language, but I think that my country should have only one language, and it's Latvian.
I don't think Latvian will disappear as a language, but I think there will be a bigger conflict between mainly Russian-speaking people and mainly Latvian-speaking people. And again, it's about patriotism and a matter of respect, because it's a country this country is called Latvia, so.
Si aucun d'entre nous ne pouvait parler une langue qu'on puisse comprendre. On peut toujours faire des dessins, on peut toujours faire des gestes, on peut toujours montrer. J'ai des étudiants ici, des ados qui ne parlent pas un mot d'anglais. On en a 2. Et c'est vrai que le sourire, déjà, c'est un langage. Faire un câlin, l'intonation de la voix, on arrive à faire passer des émotions.
I think to live, I really like Olga because it has nice places. Let it be cafes or restaurants or some nature places. So we have the river, we have the forest, and it's really close to Riga, which is also very nice. And I really like Kämeri, the national park with the bogs, and yeah, I went twice and both times it looked different. I think that's my favorite place.
There's a lot of history. I like the views, the nature, the things you can do there. Like there's a lot of good places where to eat. You can have walks. There's some entertainment as well. Like you can go to cinemas. There is this Ferris wheel you can go, or any other activities. So yeah, Sigulda is my top one. I think it's also friendly for young people, for families, so it doesn't matter. You can just go there and enjoy.
Beach?
You would call. You know where that is?
No.
It's a tiny place. Like, it's I'm not sure if you can classify it as a village. It's like, you know, Ventspils, Atklāj, and right in between in the thing, it's where my summer house is, and it's by the sea, and it's like the wild sea, not the tame sea, and it's wonderful.
Oh, treehouse place. Un Strančīgi is really cool. I really like to go there.
Patīk šeit. Man patīk Madona.
Madona?
Ļoti skaists.
My hometown, kind of your car. Yeah, I would say.
I really love the city Ventspils. It's like near the sea, and there's like sculptures of cows everywhere that I don't know why. I don't know why there are cows everywhere, but I think it's like fun, and it's like really awesome city. It's calm, but also a lot of tourists go there. I try not to go into the politics too deep because there's a lot of negativity actually. So I actually have no clue what's going on that much because I don't want the negativity.
They are not, which is very interesting for me. And I really, I'm always amazed when people say that I don't care about politics because it doesn't impact me. It's something the politicians do in Riga. Then it's very weird because the street you walk on is politics. This house is politics. The food you eat is politics. The park is politics. The TV is politics. Everything around us is politics, and it's regulated by policies. So you're affected by politics all day, every day, and the fact that you don't care about it is just, I would say, very dangerous for yourself. And by the time when the actual impact is happening and you have done nothing about it, and then you complain about it, that's just, to me is very wrong. And I think a lot of people really don't get it. It's also politics and your kind of role in democracy is not only 4 years, every 4 years going to vote. It's also about knowing what's going on and seeing what kind of policies are on the debate there and saying your opinion and also going out to the events and going to meet with politicians in between the period and asking for this, for the things that concern you to be regulated better, and that's the only way you can kind of get out of the situations where you have to complain about something happening the way you don't want to.
It's not just like the political regions that differ, the geographic regions that differ politically. It's Most of the political difference created is probably by age groups. So like older people who have lived in the Soviet Union somehow still have a connection to it, perhaps. I've heard at least a lot of people like, oh, good old times, like what good old times what are you talking about? You're crazy. But yeah, I think, for instance, Latgalia, because of its proximity to Russia, I think they're more of that mindset of like pro-Russian maybe. Yeah, I think that region specifically could be for that. Well, it's definitely visible. It is there. I mean, we do share a border, so that's kind of an inevitability. It's like whatever your policies in your country are, there is going to be like at least some residual influence or splash effect with your neighboring countries. But
I've read a bit before, and I think a big thing is that like pro-Russia and con-Russia, the thing is. But I don't experience a lot of politics here, because the people of the Latvians I talk to, they don't talk to me about politics usually.
Mostly during elections. I nowadays follow more European politics. I think Europe is going to be a federal country, I guess.
And I tried to understand, I tried to have this political conversation with one of my co-workers, but then in the end I didn't quite understand because I was asking about the party, if it was like left or right or centered, and in the end I didn't understand. And I actually didn't also make the research, so I can say that it's also my fault.
Well, I look at other countries as an example of how they are managing certain issues like immigration, for example, because that's the problem in Italy, and then you look at what other countries are doing and you see the effects of what's happening or how they're tackling certain problems.
First of all, they are not ready to integrate in Latvia, and they don't want to, which is a fact. And I think that the whole, you can see it in the media that it's gone away from the agenda, because the refugees that come, and we really would. I remember when the first refugees came, it was in the media. Oh, the first family arrived, the second family arrived, the third family arrived. No one cares right now. And the last numbers that we completed the program, we've taken in all the refugees we needed, and it's more than 300. But from those 300, only a few families have stayed. And it's because of the fact that the refugees that are going to Italy and Greece and then being dislocated to Latvia, they don't really want to come to Latvia. They specifically want to go to rich countries with a lot of benefits, so they don't want to stay here. They don't see Latvia as a market where they want to live. It's not a big market. The language is not so useful in a wider perspective, and the economy is not that great. So a lot of refugees don't want to stay there. So it's also that we have less problems with that, and we don't have to really integrate them because majority goes away. And for the few families, I think that's disrespectful that Latvia hasn't really put up a working mechanism to really integrate these families and to help them. And I think more than that, we have even bigger problem with even integrating back Latvians that have been abroad for a long time, that worked in UK or Ireland or Germany for 10, 20 years, and they want to maybe come back, and it's hard for them as well to come back. So for the refugees in Latvia, it's not a topic even worth discussing, because we have only a handful of refugees in Latvia that really stays here.
Honestly, I think the European Union is probably going to fail. We took on way too much, way too fast. It was like the situation with Germany, like we just, okay, I'm just going to start doing this, and you're also going to do that. Like, we're not ready. It's just way too much, way too fast happened. I think we're spiraling downwards right now with everything happening. It could crash.
Of course, I think we can see that the European Union has been a really good project for let's start from the peace. the main idea of having this union back in the 50s were to kind of have peace in Europe, long-lasting peace, and we see that it's worked. Europe has never been so safe as it is right now. If you look at the wars that went through the Middle Ages and even in the late Middle Ages and the new era, Europe is very safe right now, and there's no countries that wants to go in war against each other, and that's really the attribute of European Union. If you look at the modern impact of the Union, I think the only way that we can move forward is to cooperate, and in this globalized world, there is no other option than to work with other nations, with other states, with other countries to have common policies, because we are so connected in the everyday life of products we buy and everything, that it's the only way you can impact these things that really impacts you directly is by working together and really have a common understanding on how we impact each other, and I think the European Union really does that. And also, I think Latvia can be really grateful for the European Union, and we're of course getting much more back from the European Union that we pay to the European Union. So the changes that the European Union funds has brought is very big, and I think it's every Latvian should be
resources, or they have the same economy, or they have the same government, but they should have, and not just being part of the European Union, but as being a country in the world, all the countries should follow the human rights. But I do feel that for Latvia it's a good thing being part of the European Union, and I do feel that it opens doors, and I do feel that they being part of the European Union makes them a little bit more independent, because they are a country, and being a singular country, they make part of a bigger thing. So I do think it's important and it's good for Latvia to be part of it.
I think it's good for Latvia because we're a small country. I don't think that we can sustain ourselves in this kind of changing. I think that the world right now is like on the verge of changing, and I feel like something big is about to happen. It's like you don't know actually what, and then a small country in this changing environment, I think it's really scary. So yes, I wouldn't say that everything Europe does is great, but I don't think that you can. I think we've gained a lot, especially like European voluntary service now, European Solidarity Corps, and Erasmus, and for example, like funding for universities. Like it's mainly funded, the new buildings for University of Latvia. The Nature Science building is mostly funded by European Union. There's so many great things. Yes, we provide the taxes, and we're a small country, and we have the euro. But I think it's mostly gaining things. And we're next to Russia, a small country, as history has proved, like next to a giant country with changing laws and weirdness. I don't think it's safe.
I don't know a lot of stuff about how European Union is working. It's just from what I saw, and also from my country, it's not working. Like every country has problems, and only some countries of Europe live in a better level of life, and not all of them, of course, just the rich people. But a lot of countries in Europe have serious financial problems. So I don't think it's working. Something has to.
I didn't
change.
want it. Euros. We had our own currency until 2014, and then we came to the euros. Although now I think it's a good thing actually, because you have the same currency almost everywhere in Europe. But at first I was like, nah, I want my own money. But in general, I think it's great that we're in the European Union, and it gives us a lot of benefits, I think.
Well, the good thing is kind of we have like one common currency, which is really useful and easy if you are just traveling inside the European Union. And it's also good that the borders are kind of open. You can just freely go.
Yeah.
And that's good. The connection possibilities it's not bad, but of course when we joined the European Union, like a lot of prices went up.
Democracy, yay. I mean, the idea of it is great. How it currently functions here, it's like theory and practice are two different things.
Yeah, sure.
Je me sens comme à la maison. Je me sens libre comme en France. Peut-être plus en sécurité même. Par exemple, je ne ferai pas forcément du stop partout en France, mais en Lettonie, j'en ferai les yeux fermés dans tous les coins du pays. Ok.
And I think they feel free, but speaking as a woman, I do feel that women don't have so much freedom. I feel that here there's many people with different opinions, but for me, I feel that outside of their homes, women are independent, they work. You see women driving buses, you see they work everywhere. There was even a lady, there was president for the country, but I feel that inside they are still really repressed, and men are really machist.
Macho, yeah.
So I feel that inside their houses, I feel fear. I feel that women are really closed and they're really going in one direction, and they don't look a lot. I don't know. I feel that there's some kind of inside we don't really know what happens, and I feel that I know for sure that Latvia is in the top 10 of most violence, the number 9 of worldwide, the country that has more domestic violence.
Wow! I didn't know.
Yeah. So when we're talking about domestic violence, the country Latvia is in number 9. Top 10.
Wow.
So imagine, we're not talking about Europe, we're talking about the world.
Yeah.
So I do feel there is freedom, but talking about women, about our feminine sex, gender, I don't think women are so free.
It's like a kind of problem right now that a lot of people leave Latvia because they are looking for the jobs in England, Ireland, in other countries, because we complain about our economy, and I wouldn't say that it's the best one, but I think it's not the worst one as well. So if you want to really establish a life in Latvia, you can do that. It's your choice either to leave and because a lot of people leave and they say they're gonna come back, but it doesn't usually happen like that.
No.
Today I do. Today I like. Generally, I absolutely hate it because I just know I always joke that I'm born in the wrong place weather-wise, because I'm always freezing. It just last night, even though I cycled home, yes, it's evening and it's cold, but I was freezing and I was under the blanket. No. And whenever there's summer and it's 30 degrees, I'm yes, 30 degrees, let me sweat, it's amazing. It's everything, it becomes better when it's hot.
Okay, yeah.
And then it's winter and I'm no, I'm so depressed and I don't want to go anywhere.
What is your favorite?
I'm adapted to it. It's not the best weather, of course, but
I love it. I love the country where I can experience all 4 seasons. I'm trying to find some activities or something to enjoy about all 4 of them. Yeah, for winter it's ice skating. For fall it's usually running or just playing with leaves. Then for summer it's a lot of swimming, being by the beach. And spring it's a lot of biking. So it's just being outside when you can.
And did you?
Yeah,
Noteikti, ka lietas slīst un slap. Pēc tam man kādreiz ļoti patīk, ka tāds lietus ir nolīs un silts. Tāds man patīk iziet ārā. Nav jau mums tā puķa dobas kādreiz bija un dārs iekops. Tagad mums tas nav vairs.
Weather in Latvia?
That's the first one.
Because I couldn't live in a tropical country. I don't like heat at all. So I think that it's really good that you have seasonal changes and you don't get bored from one thing. You have winter for a while, it's nice and cold and there's snow, and then afterwards you have summer for 3 months and you have sun, and then you get bored from that and you go again into winter, and then you're already starting to long for winter at the end of the summer. So it's really nice, and every time I go to a country where it's 30 plus degrees, I hate that, I cannot breathe, and I really like Latvia and plus 10 degrees and rain and the fresh air that is here in Latvia.
Do we have to be honest?
Yeah.
When it's sunny, yes. When it's sunny, I like it. Also the winters I can survive them, because winter is supposed to be cold, so if it's -20 or -1 it doesn't make a big difference. I just hate when it's supposed to be warm and it's not.
It was an experience, and it depended on the day, if I liked it or not. Because in general it was really nice for me to have a lot of snow. Because if we have snow in Germany, it's usually just a bit and it's melting really fast and then everything is grey. But here in Latvia we had beautiful white days, and yeah, but the cold, well, you didn't want to stay outside for a long time.
A lot of different, when there was like a Stalin times and everything like that, you couldn't leave the border of the country. You were living like in this space, and it was like for you to go outside of Latvia, it was like you had to take like a test, and they would say either you can go or you cannot, and there was a lot of deficit of the food. You couldn't get food so easily. You had coupons to get bread or milk or something like that. So right now it's a lot better.
Tā taču ir brīvība. Salīdzinoši ar PSRS tagad tiešām ir brīvība. Lai nu ir visādas nebūšanas, bet tagad ir brīvība. Tas tā bija PSRS.
They speak quite open about it, but we don't speak so much about it, because we speak more about what's happening now instead of the past.
People are just like saying what you just mentioned, that yeah, at those times the life was more easy and yeah, we could get, but actually it wasn't. It was worse. Yeah, they kind of remember those times better because they were also younger.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so if you look at the pictures and you hear those stories that actually was happening, it isn't better.
Ja es biju Rīgā starp latviešiem, es vienmēr esmu jutusies kā latvieti tikai. Es nemaz krievu valodu.
Yeah, and I spoke with these old people, and they said that they still remember when you needed to come inside in some specific hour. So yeah, it's people there's many people alive that were here during Soviet times, and I cannot even imagine how was it.
Cik sanāk? Gandrīz 30 gadus. Padomu laiks esmu nodzīvojis. Ja? Gandrīz 30 gadus.
Well, during the Soviet time everything was scarce, so people were standing in queues to buy bread, meat, and everything was a deficit. So in one sense it was bad, like people couldn't buy everything they wanted to, but in another sense it meant that everyone, if they grew something in their garden, if they made something, they could sell it, because there would always be someone who needed it. So it was another way for people to make money and to survive. And in the capitalist system, there are basically no deficits. We have overabundance of things. So that's why we need marketing and advertising, because we have so many choices, and I think even too many choices, so people feel anxious about not making the best choice. And that is one of the reasons why I think the population grew during the Soviet period very rapidly and just plummeted drastically after we got the independence.
It's sad because I feel like this is how you understand things, and this is how you are going to appreciate the present if you know about the past. But my grandmother doesn't say anything. You know, you can see how they do things differently from you. Like, they buy something more just because, or they eat meat because it wasn't available. And you explain to them, but for them it's not about even the taste, it's just about what you think is the rich food and what you think is the poor food. Or like having the fur, they don't understand that it's cruelty. For them it was the symbol of I can afford this. And this kind of, you can see this, but they don't really say it. I'm not sure if they fully understand it.
I would say I wish more people in Latvia would be more open-minded about everything in the politics, in the environment, in everything in general, and maybe try not to go away but stay here and establish life and for our country, because if everyone leaves, then in 100 years there's going to be no Latvia. So I wish Latvia and Latvian people to love their country.
I hope there will be more than 100 years. That's like one wish. Let it be multiple 100 years. I think it's really important for them to stick to their culture, to their traditions, because it's so much more important than, like, it's such a big value of their country, and just motivate everybody to keep it alive. The children, I mean, I don't think it will extinct. I think it will. Everybody will continue to dance and sing, but I just wish for Latvia that it will.
Būt latviskākai.
Garīgi atjaunot iekšēju stāju cilvēkiem. Rakt dziļāk. Neapstāties vispusē.
I would wish to not be afraid of change, because you mentioned the Europe, like some people don't like Europe, some people are afraid of the Russians, some people are afraid of like basically anything. Then the people are leaving to work in other countries because they don't have a good life here or something. I don't think we should be afraid of change. We should kind of embrace it and then find out and be open enough to also other people. I mean, of course we're against refugees, like we're a small country, we're afraid of anything that's different, but also not be afraid of refugees. I think there is place for them. I mean, if they're true refugees, not just people trying to get into Europe, but I mean like actual refugees, they're people. And just because they're different doesn't mean they're bad or they're gonna impact us in any way. Like, how about we integrate them? How about we, like, don't be open, and also not to be open just to difference, but like be open to each other, because we're usually really closed off. And I wish us to be more direct and say actually what we mean, and then decide what to do instead of just keeping quiet. I'm trying to learn that.
I wish Latvia would stay strong, would still stay independent when it's needed. I hope we will have a lot of many people here, so we can actually stay as a country. I hope our language will stay, and we will accomplish some great things for the upcoming 100 years, and maybe change history as well.
I need to die.
I hope that they will solve the conflicts they have in the country with the Russian-speaking people and with the money issues, like minimum income. And I hope it will be a stable country where people want to live, because I see a lot of people don't want to live here.
Okay, great, thanks.
And I guess I can wish our people to be more brave, to change things, not be afraid to to break something up, then just dare to be free.
Un peu à transmettre à toute la Lettonie. Écoutez, je vous souhaite le meilleur. Je vous souhaite un peu plus de soleil. Mais oui, je voudrais vous remercier la Lettonie de m'avoir apporté ce que vous m'avez apporté.
Jā, es gribu novēlēt, lai latvieši atcerās, ka Dievs ir dāvinājis brīvību.
Okay.
Ja Dievs nebūtu palīdzējis, mums nebūtu brīvība.
Paldies!
Well, I wish that people believe on themselves, because I do see Latvians as a really low self-confidence country. I think Latvians don't believe in themselves. They never think they know how to speak in English, they never think they know how to do something, they never think they're good enough, they never think they know how to dance, or they know how to speak, or they know how to cook. But they know, they are really crafty, they know how to work with their hands, of course they know how to cook, of course many of them know how to speak in English. So I just feel that I wish to them to believe more in themselves and to embrace their freedom and to embrace Latvia as the beautiful country that it is, because it's a beautiful country. I never thought that could be so beautiful, even if the hard winter. I do wish them to believe on themselves and to keep here. Don't go away. Believe in Latvia, because it's going to
I would wish a good health and to not lose the Latvia.
Yeah, I wish Latvia to keep balance between us, the people living in here, and the nature. I think that Latvia has quite unique nature, and really we have preserved the environment quite well. I hope that Latvia can, with all the possible people coming into Latvia from other countries and becoming also a country where a lot of people want to come and start to live, I hope that Latvia will still have its nature as one of the priorities, and people in 100 years can have the same benefits as we can just go in the woods and pick mushrooms and do stuff in the nature.
Yes, I wish Latvians all the best and that they can reach all the goals that they wish for the country and celebrate their freedom and keep staying free forever.
I hope that they will, that the level of their life will be better, because I come from a country where the level of our lives, it's not really good in the last years. And I really hope that people manage to live a better life. I don't mean in a richer way, just in a more decent way. And I would wish that they would smile a bit more to the people. Just a small smile.